Hi there, my name is Katie and I'm a librarian at Carnegie Library, Pittsburgh. Today we're going to utilize the City Directories collection from Historic Pittsburgh. City Directories can add a very cool dimension to your family research and answer some top questions like, who lived in my house in 1912? Or, my grandmother remembers there was a butcher near her childhood home in Lawrenceville. Can you help me find it? These large, cumbersome, yet extremely detailed directories will help you place a family member at a specific moment in time. They can also be used to help locate businesses, learn about ward boundaries, find a family member's occupation, spouse's name, and more. So we'll start here on the Historic Pittsburgh homepage. City Directories is one of the highlighted collections, so we can click through right here. This collection contains city directories for the city of Pittsburgh and Allegheny City between 1815 and 1945. There are also some business directories in this collection, which can also be helpful. So we'll use the options over here on the left side to further refine our search and pull up the 1900 Pittsburgh and Allegheny City directory. So we'll go ahead and filter by date first. And we'll choose 1899, and we'll look at to 1900. And we can go down here and further make sure we're just looking at Pittsburgh and Allegheny by clicking that. And here is our 1900 directory. From here, we'll click into View This Item to see the full directory. It's important to know that indexing for these directories is done by OCR, Optical Character Recognition. This is far less reliable and accurate than human indexing and may not be as thorough, making it a bit more difficult to find what you're looking for. A good way to search is to start off with a text search here in this box, and then to browse if you're not finding what you need. Let's go ahead and open this into full screen mode, and we'll make sure that we are in two-page layout. And from here, we're going to browse the 1900 directory. The first few pages of the directory are advertisements. And if we skip forward, you can move through this either with these arrows, which will take a long time because there's over 1,700 pages. You can also drag this, piece down here on the toolbar through your pages, or you can also kind of flip through as you would a book. And I like this because it gives you the page numbers. And I've already kind of identified where we want to go today. So this also has a directory of state and county and city governments, schools, benevolent institutions, churches, cemeteries, etc. in here. So this is also some good information. If you flip through, you'll see that. And if we skip forward, we want to take a look at our residential directory as well. And so the introductory part on this page gives an important rundown of abbreviations used. We go ahead and zoom in. For example, A, if you see A after any entry, you know that that belongs to Allegheny City. So if you see two people listed with the same last name, you'll know who is living in the city of Pittsburgh and who is in Allegheny City. There's also some other great abbreviations here to take a lot of the guesswork out of using the city directories. One that we'll need in a little bit is widow, is W-I-D. And after that, so if we skip almost all the way to the very, very end, we are going to find the business directory as well. So after, almost at the very, very end, we're going to be in the business directory portion. And so you'd be able to identify businesses by boroughs and also by the type of business. So carpet cleaning, for example, Southside carpet cleaning. So this is the city of Pittsburgh. We are going to run a search, and we'll start with a text-based search, and we are looking for a city of Pittsburgh resident named Jenny Ryland. So let's search by her last name, Ryland, and it'll pull up search results that include these little pins at the bottom toolbar. And if we hover over it, we can get a little bit of information of what this entry will be. But if we go ahead and click in, it'll highlight in yellow the matching results. So this is Rylander, and if we look here, we can see that the last name is actually Hay. So all of these people have the last name of Hay. So we are pretty far away from the R's. So let's jump ahead. And this looks more promising. We're in the R's. Here's Ryan. Here's Ryland up here. And if we scroll down, we should be able to find our yellow highlighted piece, Ryland. And I said we're looking for a woman named Jenny Ryland. If we look underneath this entry for Ryland, we can see her right here. Jenny, W-I-D, which we know is widow, of George M. Ryland. And we can see that he was a packer, and she was a librarian. And she lived at Grandview and North Shiloh, which is in the Mount Washington area. If we weren't quite sure whether her last name was Ryland or was it Roland, we could also go to Roland. And we know it'll be in a similar area where the Rylands are as far as the area within the toolbar. Oh, here's our Rolands. And if we wanted to just double check that that is the Jenny that we are looking for, we can look under Roland and see, no, I don't see any Jennys here. You can also search by occupation, which is pretty fun. So if we put in librarian, we'll get records of all listed residents with the occupation of librarian. And of course, that might not be entirely accurate because indexing in the directories uses optical character recognition and not human indexing, but still it's pretty cool. You can look through here. We see this is our Jenny Ryland entry from Grandview, and if we just skip down here, looks like we have another librarian right here. So William M., let's see, what is his last name? Stevenson, a librarian at Carnegie Library, and he lives on the north side. What is now currently the north side, but was Allegheny City. So he was at the original Carnegie Library. If you want to save a copy of the entry that you find, you're just going to right-click, Save Image As, and a good practice to get into is to rename your file with the title of the directory and the year. And you can come up with your own style, but that will help keep your records organized. Have fun exploring these directories. I'm sure you will find something surprising and interesting to add to your family research.